Yeah. Doesn't matter. They were breaking and entering anyway. Anybody, any kind of person. Country was dead when I was in fourth grade. Well, no, I don't. I only stayed with you for a month in 2015 and 2016. No, 2016, uh, 2 months. I stayed in multiple locations. By the time I owed him, he was already someone else. He was he was owned by President George Bush by the time I owed him, and we were shot in the head by uh, President George Bush's soldier, galactic soldier. I appreciate you, and I thank you for the offer, but I must move on to Egypt. Thank you so much. You're not related to me. You tried, but you're not. If the problem was AIDS, you wouldn't need my physiology. Of course, because you're Ethiopic. What did she say? When? That wasn't me. I have my own car. Well, I'll let you figure it out. It wasn't a BMW. I had multiple cars for 10 years. No, she doesn't. That's a lie. Chelsea's lying. See how retarded that bitch is. She's a drug addict and spreads AIDS for money. They're lying. I mean, how could you go to such refined schools and not be able to produce your own work? No, I don't. Bill Clinton sold it. Excuse me? I pray to the devil. Didn't you vampirize over 1 billion people 10 years ago? California is dying. I guess she's my responsibility after Prince William decides that, shooting guns, shooting bullets at the worthless women that pay Buckingham Palace billions of dollars to marry their princes. You know, um, now they're always after me for some reason, and I just want to have independence. I can't have any independence because women that are obsessed with the princes of Europe are going to break into my home and steal whatever they think I have, even if it's an intellectual thought. Why bribe them with that much money so that you can pretend to be me when you can't produce your own work? No, you did that. You doubled me and got murdered really hard. So everybody knows about that. Please move on. Okay? Oh, Harold Keith only has $65, and yet you're here to smear Egyptian artifacts. Go back to DC, tell Italians to get their money back from Buckingham Palace, move to France, go to Brazil, move on and be with your family. Okay? I'm not obsessed over the princes of Europe. They're not obsessed over me. Move on, okay? Get out of my life. I don't know you. Oh, she's alive. She was near Smith's grocery store, followed me to Smith's grocery store, parked right next Bernadette Johnson's daughter or Bernadette Johnson's granddaughter by Corleone. She parks right next to me near Smith's grocery store when really she should be in Buckingham Palace. Instead, she's obsessed with following me around or seeing what she can steal. See how ignorant women are? That's ignorant. They bribed Buckingham Palace billions of dollars, billions and billions to marry them. Now she's here. It's not just the princes of Europe, it's them too. Why don't you follow Shantae Warleen Carter around? Follow Shantae. Shantae just doubled me in Pakistan. She doesn't know anything about Islam. She doesn't know anything about Urdu or Hindi or their history. She knows nothing about Ethiopians, nothing. And she just married a Pakistani Jew and stole my CIA profile. Why don't you follow her? He just bought her $1 billion bracelet, and there's no dowry. Okay, he did that on his own. So if that's how it is, follow Shantae around. Don't follow me. I'm self-supporting. Chloe Bailey's not Islamic. That's a lie. An Islamic family wouldn't need to bribe. You're lying. No, no, no. A true Islamic woman wouldn't need Buckingham. You're a fraud. Right, they wouldn't have to pay anything if they were really Islamic. That's a lie. The earth is full blown Ebola crustaceans. So why don't you handle the earth's atmosphere since the fruit's growing dicks? Stop giving us African retorts from a prostitute's bedroom. Now you know how much money Ethiopia has. Eat yogurt. It's yogurt in your refrigerator, isn't it, dummy? That's AIDS. Artificial intelligence is Darwinism. You want to kill the angels that you know originate in the Bible because you're vampiricals. You have a steel blade for an angel and a molecular weapon. So racism does exist. Please do. El Shaddai needs cuneiform. Choo choo boo. My father is from Germany. Why would I leave the United States? See? You see how those vampires anointed that African? And then she's married to pretty much anyone, wherever she goes. She lives free of charge, okay? In a lavish, luxurious way. And now she's focused on trying to give me another identity after being enthroned for over 20 years. You hear her crying? That is just so ridiculous. She could have been anything by now. Instead, she's still focused on relying on my writing instead of having hers. And Oprah was prepared to give her her own TV show. But that wasn't good enough. That was someone else. I've been through cellular renewal. I'm a clone. Genevieve has the favor of Africa, and I don't. So why talk about how white and beautiful Genevieve is, and then go do African dances with her in voodoo? See how stupid Genevieve is? Oh, you're not as pretty as Genevieve. But then the retard went and tried to buy the title to my BMW and then tried to get me to pay for it. And then Hispanics that own Santander Loan Company had her illegally drive the car around Las Vegas. And it's really military based evidence. She shouldn't be driving it. Okay, I know how much the military worships that retard. Then the retard thought she was really going to have me pay for it after smearing my food with her with her prostitution stains. Then they said she has a PhD, please. Her IQ is like a white child, but not better than a white male older than 11. So then she doesn't have a PhD. Get out of here. Who she everybody knows she's a prostitute. Get real. Who has sex with 1,000 people in 3 weeks and then goes to an office to then when she went to Bill Gates's research organization, she was in the office having sex. All they do is write her work for her. She doesn't write anything. See how stupid that is? And Bill Gates is in on it because she's always having sex with him. That fool. Then she bragged about Matal this whole long time. Okay, well, Genevieve lives in an $800 trillion palace. Well, then why isn't she there? Retard. But guess who backs Genevieve? Guess who the problem is? A Chinese monkey related. Don't say it's racism because the earth loves to be related to monkeys because they're rich. Now, the Chinese handicap uses Genevieve's body from the federal body farm. And then Genevieve went to Paris, France to pretend to be white women that are rich, like Paris Hilton. See? So it means it's not just Genevieve. There's a Chinese handicap in her ancestry that is obsessed with trying to eliminate the genetic Down syndrome, AIDS related retardation status they have in a natural way, cellularly. Neither God never honored me either. What's new? You murdered a quadrant of white people in France for a Negro that loves to smell the fecal stains from a homeless crackhead. After worshiping white men who drink blood her whole life. Shantae Worlin Carter. Why would I worship white men who drink blood my whole life and then move to Pakistan to steal an identity? Then they try that religious BS. Please, they don't believe in religion. You went to the convents all over this earth for the black queens of Ethiopia and murdered white women and Asians and vampirized them and stole their bodies. Okay, that was an international consensus. Why? And yet I'm still the focus. You resurrected me. Bin Laden resurrected me. Prince William resurrected me with money. Everybody knows. You want to drill into my brain? I didn't ask you to. No, I don't need to do intelligence. You know why? It's worthless with Genevieve's connections involved because she's from a quadrant in the Pacific where they're Melanesians. They have black skin, and a lot of them are animal related. And the U.S. military made a deal with France to evacuate them from that area and move the millions of them to our country by the millions. And they would have, upfront benefits and rewards and what do you call it? Luxurious, what do you call it? Like VIP treatment. So, based on them getting all that from the military and not being able to produce intellect on their own, there's no point in joining anything that involves the government, period. And or any company. And because the government owns only like really my independent scientific research about this economy says that maybe only 20 to 25 American companies are actually real privatization, and the other companies are annulled with genocide of Jews or with Jews or people that sold their identities and moved to Europe. So Popeyes, that's not privatized, that's the government. And Popeyes is putting Jewish Holocaust necrosis fluid in the fried chicken crust. Africa is in on it. The federal government accepts. So does the European Union. So the problem isn't AIDS since you want to sell it to everyone on the command of the king of Ethiopia, who has black skin. AI record. No news about how they sent nuclear fusion to Harold Keefe's house. Yes, they did. They sent in the year 2019, in the springtime. They built a franchise, I think Rome did, around my research on Egypt, text wise from what I could get from Barnes and Nobles, When I saw the Jewish white women and the black Jewish women that were still in the research, I trashed all the books, ruining their company, right? So then Europe's response and the military's response was to nuclearize Hyattsville, Maryland during my first teaching year, 2018 to 2019. They did. And, Ethiopian gods and kings and queens are living at level 25 complex. They were smearing trash all over the parking lot. AI record. Well, said the king of Ethiopia, we fear this evolution in mulattoes. Really, said the federal government, yes, we do. Will you execute all of the mulattoes and all of the Jews that you have earthwide? And we will pay you, and then you will continue to feed your country aids. Of course, we can do that. Okay, great.